Arc 3, Episode 2 of the DNR podcast is brought to you today by CJW Capital. I'm sure a lot of you know you should be managing a budget, paying down debt, or saving more, but you've been avoiding it because you don't know where to start. Trust me, we've all been there. You need an advisor to help you understand and make good financial decisions. A financial advisor like Chris at CJW Capital. Go to cjwcapital.com to see how they can help. And when you're ready, fill out the contact us form to set up a meeting with your financial advisor. The first meeting is free, so why wait? A lot of us are just getting back from Dragon Con, and there's no better time to start saving. Check out cjwcapital.com and get that first meeting for free. Let's do that thing where we go around the table and introduce ourselves. I'm Jason, I'm the Dungeon Master, going around the table, starting with Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I play Tatiana, the human rogue.
And Ian.
Hey, I'm Ian. I play Kalden Halek, who, despite all his rage, is still just a half-elf frost mage.
And Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen, and I play Callie, the elven druid, and I'm very disappointed in Ian.
Disappointed? Was that not good enough for you?
Are you not entertained?
We're just still bringing this bit in, huh?
This is all I have, Karen. All right, don't take this away from me.
And Valerie.
Hello, I'm Valerie, and I play Elena, the maybe human, maybe fighter.
Why maybe?
Because something happened to me.
Oh, yes, something did happen to you. We'll get to it. And last and certainly not least, the duo who I've been waiting all summer long to find out just what in the hell is happening. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I used to play Braylon, the halfling bard, but now he's just mostly charred.
Oh. And Jameson.
Hi, I'm Jameson, and I used to play Larg, the half-orc paladin, but now I don't have a good thing that rhymes, so he's dead.
He's Larg, and he's charred.
He's Largin and charred.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
So, I don't know if you guys remember where you left off or not, but let's assume that you don't. You guys are about to talk to Vecna. This is after using the bell and performing this ritual. You know, it was shaky. It was really rocky. Things turned pretty sour for a little bit, but you got through it. Mm-hmm. So, this gentleman, who, if you were to really give him a good look over, and I would suggest all of you do that now. So give me a perception check, everybody who's alive and conscious. And
just to look at him?
No. Here's the thing. I want to see, like, how many details you take in. Because there's obviously,
Gotcha.
You know, what he looks like and all that. I'm going to break all that down. But I want to see what little details you can pick out.
Okay.
You know, you have to avert your eyes the entire
I don't know. Maybe.
It's
Okay.
like the dragons when they talk, but you just can't look at him.
I am staring everywhere.
Oh, yeah, you're just taking them all in. Elena got a 6. Everybody else rolled a, 13 or above. So Elena's probably a little distracted because, I mean...
I just got touched by a demon.
That's true, and that's not good. So I would describe Vecna as a very interesting-looking man. Dressed to the nines. We're talking flowing cape, dressed in a lot of dark colors, a little red here and there. Real top and tails type of person. Half of him is beautiful skincare routine. We're talking not a blemish in sight, long flowing hair, gorgeous man. Half of him looks like someone tore the skin off of a human. So it's a lot of rotted musculature and just bone. Like, you can see where there's a little bit of muscle, a little bit of skin here and there, but mostly bone. So it's an off-putting sight. He's going to materialize a chair in the middle of this cave where you guys are now. And he's going to saunter over to it. And he's going to sit down and cross his legs. And at first he's going to look over to Elena, because Elena was the closest to imminent danger, I would say. Are you all right?
Is he talking specifically to Elena?
I think he's looking at Elena, but definitely, you could tell by the way he's speaking to the group. I mean, you've just been through a traumatic ordeal, all of you.
Keldon will speak up. I think he's just sort of like been sitting there crisscross applesauce for the ritual that they just performed, but he gets up, maybe like he starts to like stand, and then no, maybe that's not. So he like awkwardly like gets to a knee and tries to find like a refined position, and he says, "We've been through a lot, but we're still alive."
Vecna's going to stand up immediately after he sees you kind of fumbling here. No, none of that. Here. And he's going to reach his hand out to Keldon.
Oh my god.
To
yes.
help you up.
Keldon will take his hand, and there are Bishi sparkles everywhere.
And there's this tingle, like almost an electric, like a spark, not an actual spark, but it's more of a feeling, like a.
Is there anything similar to how he felt when he rung the bell before and like saw anything, and saw like the dead vision kind of?
I would definitely say that it's reminiscent of that, but it's, oh boy, get ready for a terrible analogy. Get ready. Okay. Okay. Do you remember the Kool-Aid Squeezums?
No,
No? Okay. So think of a juice box, but it's in a cool 90s squeezable bottle.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, I do. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Okay. So it's the difference between drinking that, which was, you using the Bella Vecna and kind of tapping into it, and then getting the dry mix Kool-Aid and just pouring that all over your tongue. It's a lot more flavor.
Oh, this is the real stuff.
Yeah,
this
that's
is the good stuff that Mom keeps up in the high cabinet. We can't
Yes.
get at. Oh my god, that's awesome. Whew. Colin just shivers. Can you tell me something? Now, does this Vecna have? Is he got like the eye and the hand thing going on that like D&D vanilla Vecna has? Like, is he missing an eye and a hand, or does he have like notable things about those eye and the hand?
Well, the one side of his body is completely normal, right? He looks fairly human, about 6 feet tall, something like that. The skeletal side of him is more, it's more almost like a zombie type of thing. So like, his right eye would just be a completely normal functioning eye, sort of a deep blue, almost an ocean green tint to it, whereas the left eye is all milky and white and fucked up and rolled off to the side. And
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's a complete dichotomy. And he would address, like, as soon as, like, Keldon stood up, I'm afraid we don't have much time, so we can dispatch with the pleasantries. First off, is everyone okay, emotionally?
I think as soon as we started hearing those echoing footsteps from the end of last episode, and once the fight was over, Tatiana probably fell to the floor and is like staring up at this person, silent and in awe, because this is a sight not to be seen, and we can assume kind of who this is. So she is just in shock, not saying anything, and you can see it all over her face.
Cullen will look around at the group, and if no one says anything, he'll turn back to Vecna and say, "We just lost 2 friends, so we have the weight of their death pressing on us."
Yes, as I'm quite aware. You took quite a risk using the bell like that. And he's going to take a couple of steps forward toward the bell itself, look down at it, and then look at Keldon specifically. After all, you've seen what it can do.
Yeah, Callan just like looks away a little bit.
At this point, he's probably almost pacing around this cave. Did you think that because you weren't near a population, that it would be all right? That there was nothing negative that could occur?
Yes. That's why we decided to do the ritual here.
He's going to walk over to Elena. I would hate to think what would have happened if I couldn't have intervened in the moment.
Elena's just kind of standing there, staring at him.
At this point, I think he's getting that the silence is something that's going to persist. All right. He's going to spin around. His cape's going to give a little bit of a flourish. And he's going to go back to his chair and sit down. Let's get down to brass tacks, if we can. I assume you have some questions for me, and I'm going to have some questions for you. So let's play a little game. Ask away. Any question that comes to mind.
What, and forgive me, Vecna, this may be broad, but I don't have much perspective on this. What is going on in Theria between the gods and our plane here? Why is Arathis bringing messages to us? What are we supposed to be involved in? What tide are we supposed to turn back?
He's going to give kind of a thoughtful glance over to Larg, or Larg's body. Yes, they did try to deliver a message. There's a bit of an imbalance currently. Now, normally, things tend to run their course, and whether that be for good or ill, it's all just part of the way the chips fall. However, we were indisposed for quite some time, and that's caused a bit of a rift. Things have gotten out of hand, let's say. And I'm afraid it's my job to keep the things below you in check. And since I was away, well, I've done quite a dreadful job at it. Normally, it's part of our purview to keep out of the affairs of mortals, not influence you directly. However, after speaking at length about this, we've decided that limited contact might just be needed to level the playing field, at least give you a fighting chance. So, I took the opportunity. This will be the first and only time that I'm going to visit you. After this, it's completely on you.
What happens if we lose? What happens to you?
And he's going to kind of draw his hand back and touch his chest. Oh, I'll be quite fine. However, we would like to see this plane continue. And I'm afraid that, if worse comes to worse, the world as you know it will end quite suddenly. And once it gets to a certain point, well, there's no coming back from it.
So then how do we stop that?
Ah, but it's my turn to ask a question of you. He's going to stand up, and he's going to saunter over to Larg and Braylon's body. And he's going to bend down, and he's going to touch Braylon's cheek. And as he does, the charred flesh and ash is going to flake away. And underneath is going to be this pinkish rosy color. And he's going to draw his hand back, and that's going to fade away. I understand that it was quite a stellar loss for all of you, and that you were grieving. But do you truly think that your friends deserve to have a second chance? Enough to risk what you've risked today?
I think if you and Arathis came and granted us a message and an audience that makes them worthy enough to stand against this thing.
He's going to look to Tatiana and Elena and Callie, because they have yet to talk. What about you three?
Being addressed to, specifically, like looking at her, I think Tatiana would sort of like shake off her shocked look and maybe even sit up a little bit and would say, I think if we didn't believe they were worthy, we wouldn't have taken the risk.
I think like this whole time, Callie has just been standing like in the exact same spot she was when everything went down, like probably death grip still on Calden's shoulder, and like just jaw basically on the floor, like what the fuck is happening? But when he addresses them, she'll say, this wasn't their fault and they don't deserve this. The dragon happened because of me, and it just wasn't their fault.
Ah, but sadly, life isn't about what you deserve. There are thousands of people all over the planet who have come to unfortunate ends through no fault of their own. Why are these two any different?
I think it's our turn.
He's going to cock an eyebrow at that. How do you mean?
We get to ask a question. You already asked one. It's our turn.
A smile is going to creep across his face. Well, half of it. Because the other's just skeletal. You're quite right. How rude of me. Please.
Tatiana is fucking shaking. She is so nervous, but she's trying so hard because it's like, how often do you get to see? Has this ever happened before? Has anyone ever seen or been in the presence of a fucking god? So she is like, I have to do something. And she's going to think about what he asked us and say, well, why did you choose us?
You know, despite how bad this all could have turned out, the demon that you saw just a few moments ago, for example, if she had gotten free, well, there's no telling what kind of horrors she could have inflicted.
Elena's gonna finally speak up, and she's still staring at him. But she'll just kind of quietly say, who was she?
Her name is Sogoth. She's one of the more powerful demons in her circle, obsessed with torture. The only joy that she can experience comes from causing others pain. All of that being said, I do admire your fortitude. And I respect the way that you wanted to stick together. It was no easy choice, I can imagine. You understood the risks, and even so you chose to do it anyway. And while it was a bit ignorant and short-sighted of all of you, we might need a little ignorance right now.
Well, you came to the right place. Cullen will look over, and he like, it's starting to like come together, I think, in his head. And he's like, this bell, your bell, it's not meant for us to use. I think I understand that now. It's a powerful artifact, but it's not meant to be in our hands.
That's quite a dreadful thing. I never signed off on it, but it does have its uses from time to time. Though, I would say Donhurst is quite the example of a reason that should be locked away for a while. Come. And he's going to wave his hand, and a set of chairs is going to materialize, and a round table.
Oh, yes.
Have a seat with me.
Cullen will move to sit down.
Elena will sit down.
Tatiana will sit down, and we'll try to make it a point to sit next to our new Jesus.
Yeah, like, we're all worshipping him after this, right? Like,
oh,
I mean,
we have to.
absolutely.
Pretty spectacular to meet to talk to a fucking god. Like, I am not
we
a
pray
very
to him
religious
every night.
person. I'm
we're
not a
gonna go
religious person,
hard.
but if a god came down and spoke to me, it would change my life view.
He's also going to materialize some fruit and some wine, and just try to make you a bit more comfortable.
Oh my god, it's the Last Supper. We're all about to die, you guys.
Oh, who's got 30 silver?
Do any of you understand how close this plane has come at times to completely falling apart?
Calden Halek here. I was at the seal that you were released from. I don't know if you remember. I was there, I helped out.
He's gonna nod solemnly.
I do know that this plane has almost been consumed by the things below, or very well could have been, and the membrane is very thin that is protecting us. Standing at that seal, seeing the old magic there, the old Eladrin magic, and seeing how easily it could be manipulated.
It's a very fragile ecosystem, and we do our best to keep the balance. Of course, in our absence, things have become a bit lax, and we've done our best to right the ship, as it were. And we notice when people go out of their way to put more in the right category than the wrong. Your friends were two of them, and they're dearly missed already. My question: do you speak for them?
Are you comfortable in advocating for them now, in front of me?
Tatiana would immediately look to Calden.
Cullen will put his hands on the table and say, yes. Yes, I think we are. I can't say if they would like that decision. And maybe they wouldn't be happy about it. But I think they would understand eventually that this moment is something bigger than all of us combined.
He's going to nod. Well, then I have a proposition for you and your party. And I would ask that all of you give it some serious thought before rushing into anything. I would like to task you with a quest. I can bring your friends back for a limited time. If it were up to me, I would just bring them back without a second thought. But I believe that would upset some of my compatriots. However, for now, I can bring your friends back. And if you follow through on this quest, I can reinstate their lives permanently.
Cullen will look at everyone else at the table just to check in and make sure. And then he'll say, let us take this on. Let us be your charges.
He's going to look to the rest of the people at the table. Are you all sure?
I assume you're not going to tell us until we say yes or no?
The quest?
Yeah.
I could tell you all about it right now if you like.
Elena's going to look to Calden.
Any insight you can give would be greatly appreciated, yes. What task will you have us do?
Do you remember a woman named Lauren Graves?
I think I do. Because I think that is the Black Hand?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. Calden has had like a million questions he's wanted to ask about this person. And you can see like his eyes just like get big. But he's going to try and stay cool in front of this cool ass god.
Don't make a fool of yourself.
Yeah, try not to be a fool.
Don't be a nerd.
Yeah, try not to nerd out. Trying to win some points. He's like, and that's what he'll say. He'll say, "You mean the Black Hand in Brightport?"
The very same. She's made some very dangerous alliances. So much so that she's clouded our ability to look after her. We believe she has every intent on shredding the barrier that keeps the demons from your plane.
She was also after your bell, but for reasons we could not discern.
Yes, well, she has her fingers in a lot of pies, as it were. We've done what we can to ascertain exactly what she plans to do. But at the very least, she has had contact with 3 of the Demon Lords.
Calden's gonna, clear his throat. And he's gonna, furrow his brow and he's gonna say, "These Demon Lords, do any of them have long fingers and long fingernails?"
Oh, yes. I believe you saw something like that in a vision.
I did.
Well, I wish I could tell you that that was a mere hallucination. Would you like me to show you all what the world would be like if Lauren got her way?
Calden just nods and gulps.
He's going to raise his right hand, and he's going to snap. The cave around you is going to disappear. And everything around you, all the rocks and that smell, all of it's going to vanish for just a moment. And as that erodes away, it's going to be replaced by the sights and smells of Brightport. It's a busy street corner, and you can see the market district from where you are. And suddenly, without warning, a figure is going to materialize in the midst of all of these people. This frozen-looking, cold individual, about 6.5 feet tall. And he's going to walk up to one of the citizens and grab them by the head. Their skull is going to freeze over as they scream out in agony.
Oh, God.
And he's going to crush it. And this slushy red pulp is going to rush through his fingers. Just as he does that, the crowd is going to react as 2 or 3 people near the scene are going to scream and start to back off. In the background, you're going to see several winged entities fly over the market district, swoop down and start grabbing citizens and flying back up into the air. Several imps are going to start flooding in from stalls, from buildings, from windows.
Oh my God.
Within the course of 30 to 40 seconds, this entire city looks like it's been overwhelmed by demons. And one of the last images that you see are 2 or 3 more of these demon lords, including Sogoth, start to march toward the table as those same citizens that were lifted into the air are just dropped and their ragdoll forms spatter on the cobblestone streets before you. And then the cave is going to kind of seep back in and materialize. She has to be stopped.
Why does she want this for Theria? Why? What does she gain from this?
I'm afraid that's something you'd have to ask her. What we would like you to do is stop her before she can do this. Stop her before she tears the veil down.
Is that the quest?
That would be it. Yes.
How do we stop her?
I think you already know the answer to that. If there was any other way, believe me.
Is there anything about her that which no one else knows?
Again, our ability to see everything in regards to her has been obscured. However, I can tell you that there's something in the Blacktip Forest to the north that might give you some insight into who she is, or was. Please know that there is no part of her that would hesitate in killing all of you if she knew what you were attempting to do. She's a cold and uncaring woman. That's why we believe that she's not going to stop.
We've already experienced firsthand the calculated way in which she does her business.
It was initially thought that she was being duped by these demons, lied to, but she knows exactly what she's doing, what the stakes are. And yet she still does not stop.
How much time do we have?
Well, that's the bad news. We're not exactly sure. We know that wheels are in motion. It would behoove you to move quickly. I can do what I can to assist, but I can't interfere directly.
I see.
He's going to place his hands on this table. And one kind of gives like a smacking sound, the other's almost a rattle as his skeleton hand rests. And that's the cards on the table. All of that being said, would you accept this quest?
For flavor, I think when he puts his hands on the table, I'd like to say that Tatiana was on his like skeleton-y side. And, and when he does that, she's like staring at his hand and slowly like pans up to his face and says, "I'll accept." And then sort of pans over to the group. I mean, I hope we do, but I do.
Calden will put his stump on the table, and he'll say, "I have been the vessel before of your work, Vecna. Allow me to be the vessel for you again. I accept."
What's Elena and Callie thinking?
Good, right? Silence. Jeez. Callie, she's just still so stunned by this whole thing. But I think she's gonna, like, nod her head and say, "Yeah, I'm in."
Elena has some, like, tears welling up in her eyes. And she's gonna say, "I guess if we try and we fail, we'll all be gone. And if we don't try at all, we'll all be gone anyway." I guess there's really only one choice. I accept.
Vecna's going to stand up. And he's going to walk over to Braylon and Larg's body. And he's going to reach down and touch both of them. And that flaky, charred skin is going to completely revert to their normal skin tone. And then it's going to dull to this almost ashy gray. Both of them are going to regain consciousness. With some slight differences. Their skin tone is an ashy gray, like we just said, and their eyes are bright white, no pupils. Other than that, it's the same Braylon and Larg. It's also as if they've been sitting at the table with you. They know everything you know.
Whoa.
They're just like sitting up, like at the table there?
No. They're on the ground. They're coming to, but it's just instantly, boom, here, you got caught up. Here's your Cliff Notes.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
So they know everything.
Calden will he'll get up away from the table, and he'll be looking at Vecna, and then looking over at Braylon and Larg, and he'll just run over to Braylon, help him up. Braylon, are you back?
Yeah, I guess so.
Fucking ready.
He's just laughing. Calden is just when you're so happy you can't. He's just laughing. He's falling over and grabbing him and laughing and crying.
Brandon's get off!
How would Larg be doing right now?
So Larg's eyes would flutter open, and he'd be kind of staring at the ceiling and regaining focus in his eyes. And then he'd just kind of take a deep breath, not really looking at anything, just kind of go, oh no. And then he would just kind of lay there for a while.
Calden he gets Braylon to his feet, and he brushes off ash off of his clothes and out of his hair, and he's holding his face, and he's just Braylon, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're back.
Yeah, me too.
And he just gives him a big hug. And he looks over and he sees Larg laying down. And he pulls Braylon on his shoulder and is come help me get Larg up.
Alright. And I'll move with him.
And we go over, standing over Larg, and Calden just extends his good hand. And he's just smiling, and tears are coming down his face, and he's just welcome back, Larg.
So he goes to take the hand, and I think he would probably notice that his own arm and hand you said it was all gray now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would see that, and it would stop him. And he would look at that, and then he would look at his other hand and kind of just look down at himself, because he established he was pretty much bare-chested, right, when he died. And he'll almost forget that Calden had offered a hand and just kind of pull himself to a sitting position anyway, just kind of looking over himself more. And then he'll look around the room at everybody. And he'll see Vecna. And what's Vecna doing?
Essentially, he has his hands folded in front of him, but like his arms are hung low. He's waiting for you to get your bearings, basically.
And you said we came back with all the knowledge. Like, there's no need to ask questions about what just happened. So
nope, it was like you were sitting there at the table.
So he will essentially move from that sitting position to being on one knee with like his opposite fist on the ground in like a position of deference. And he'll lower his head and he'll just very, very quietly say, "Thank you."
He's gonna bend down. No. Thank you. He's gonna reach his hand out, the clawed skeletal one. And the small red orb, about the size of a baseball, is going to appear in his hand. And he's going to toss it up in the air, and it's going to levitate and move back to that table. And it's going to rest in the center of it. I want you to take all the time you need. While you reside in this cave, no harm will come to you. Once you're ready to leave, take the sphere on the table and smash it on the ground. It's all the help I can provide. But I wish you all the luck in the world.
What if we need to reach you? What if something happens?
Whatever happens beyond this point simply happens.
Calden like puts his hand to his heart and just bows super deeply to Vecna.
He's going to bow back. So, you know it's light outside, but the cave is still dark. Like, all that light outside has been muted. There's this fog still creeping around like your ankles type of thing. It's almost like you are in this cave, but it's like a different, like you've been removed from the rest of the world. Like it's a separate instance. And he's going to stand up and brush himself off. Well, unless there's anything else, I have work to do. And so do you.
I think Callie is going to speak up. She's kind of finally like getting over her shock or whatever. And she's going to say, I have one more question. It doesn't have to do with any of this. Can you tell me what's wrong with my family?
You've all undergone such hardship. I would like nothing more than to alleviate some of that. If, at the end of this quest, you would still like me to assist you, I can destroy the curse that's afflicted your family.
She's gonna take a big deep breath in and just nod emphatically. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
He's gonna give one last glance to all of you. And he's gonna put that skeletal hand on Elena's shoulder. I would like to assist in any way I can to make your journey even slightly more attainable. But there are some things I simply have no control over. And for that I am so sorry, Elena.
Elena's going to be staring up at Vecna. And she doesn't want to show him that she doesn't really understand what he's talking about. So she'll just nod, but she has nothing to say. She doesn't know what's going on.
Vecna's going to raise his hand away from Elena's shoulder, and there's going to be this smoky portal-like hole that appears in the cavern wall. And he's going to take the brim of his top hat and remove it, and sort of bow to the party.
Love his style.
And with that, he is going to march through this hole in the wall and disappear. And there's this eerie silence in this cavern now. And I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I imagine it's a thing where it's like, okay, who's going to break this silence? Who's the first to talk? Like, it's...
There's obviously only one who can do that.
Yeah.
Are the table and chairs still there?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So Elena's gonna go over to the table and she's gonna sit down and probably cross her arms over the table and rest her head in her arms.
So your possessions are all still there, and that's, you could see where the fire scorched the walls of this cavern. You still have your letters that you wrote home that I imagine are still scattered about, and everything's the same except for those additions, that fog, the tables and chairs, the Braylon and Larg.
Braylon and Larg.
The Braylon and Larg, the new unscorched Braylon and Larg.
Braylon's gonna look at Larg and be like, oh, was I supposed to bow?
I don't know if he has rules like that.
Oh,
it just seemed like a good idea.
And then he's gonna look at your hands and then look at his. Oh, and look for maybe a piece of armor or something nearby to maybe shine a reflection and look at his face. Ugh. Really?
No. You look good.
I don't have pupils.
It's a new look. Who needs pupils? You know what? Now you can wear sunglasses all the time. How cool will that look?
They're not even real. He's gonna have his hands, and it's like, ugh. Well, I'm alive, right? I mean, that's good.
As soon as Tatiana sort of hears that Braylon is totally 100% himself, she's going to sort of get up and saunter over and give both Larg and Braylon a hug and just say, "Welcome back, you guys. You were sorely missed."
Weird question. Are we cold to the touch or something?
Ooh.
For all... you're basically reanimated corpses.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Does that mean they're going to start to rot?
No.
So are we revenants now?
Oh my god.
Yes.
We're revenants.
Oh my god.
Halfling revenant.
Holy shit!
Eat your heart out, Actoronus!
That is so cool.
So Larg will return the hug, but you can tell that his head isn't really in it. His heart's not really in it. He just kind of does it and then lets go when it's time to let go. And he's just kind of looking around the room. Did we, as part of getting caught up on everything, did we also get caught up on kind of what they went through, what the ritual was and all that?
I would say everything from the point where, I guess you could put it as, you blacked out. Everything from that moment forward to the moment you opened your eyes, it was a complete download of information. It's just, you have it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so he's just kind of looking around, like he's very stone faced, and you can see he's kind of clenching and unclenching his jaw a little bit as he's thinking. And he nods to Tatiana and to the others, but doesn't say anything.
Calden goes over to him and just like, he just looks up at him and then says, I'm really glad you're back, Larg, but I'm really sorry. We keep pulling you across the void. You deserve to be with your god, and you deserve to be with Ellen.
He shakes his head, and he takes a deep breath, and he kind of straightens himself a little bit, and makes eye contact with Calvin, probably, because he doesn't have pupils, but he looks like he is. And he goes, she wasn't there this time.
Who?
Arathis. When I crossed over this time, she wasn't there.
Was it different?
No. Just she didn't come see me.
Well, it sounds like the gods are doing a lot. I can't say, but I don't think it would be because she didn't want to.
He thinks about it for a minute and he kind of just nods and like just wipes his hand over his face, kind of like refocusing himself, and nods again and just says, yeah, maybe. We should probably get to it, huh?
Yeah, Cullen will see, like, he's got this, like, he just wants this conversation to be over. So Cullen will just, like, nod and be like, just nod. What to it should we get to?
What is the orb? What is the orb? Someone do an arcana check on the orb.
I think the orb is like our little pocket dimension. That's my guess.
We break it, we come out of it.
Yeah. It's sort of like stop time right now so we can catch our breath and then we can get going.
I thought either that or like just like a protection bubble.
Yeah, it could be.
Probably both.
Yeah, there's also a little handwritten card next to it. So.
Cute!
Oh my god, he's so
Did he say I love Vecna?
Give us a little gift basket.
Yeah.
He gave us fruit and stuff,
On
so
the
kind of,
first
yeah.
date? I mean, come on.
Ah,
Oh my god.
What a gentleman.
hands off, Tatiana.
What does it say?
What does the card say?
If you were to look at this card before, touching the orb or whatever, it says, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to all of you.
Ow. Wait, are you being serious or no?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Okay. Ow.
Because it goes on to say, I so rarely get the opportunity to speak with mortals directly. So this was a learning experience for both of us. Also, he goes on to wish you luck again with everything, and he hopes for the best for this plane of existence. Also, he warns that it can be a little disorienting coming out of one of these protection bubbles, and obviously, Braylon and Larg's current state is going to take some getting used to, but he has the utmost confidence in your abilities.
He's such
Promising.
a gentleman.
Wow, I love my new Lord and Savior Vecna.
Thank you.
What's the date? I need to remember our anniversary.
It's the 8th of Ferior.
The first time with our meet cute.
So, Braylon's gonna look back to where Calden was. Is the bell still there?
Good question.
It's still there.
He's gonna run up to it, and I assume it's the wrap is still underneath it. Like it was like the start of the ritual, just had the wrap out and the bell was there. He's gonna wrap it up, kind of fold it as nice as he can, and rush it back over, and then for a minute, like he's gonna think about getting it back to Calden. He's gonna stop, and he's gonna look at Larg, and be like, "I think maybe you need to hold on to this one."
Larg will look a little bit surprised and then kind of glance at Calden.
Calden just like gives him a little nod, and he says, "When we first met you, Larg, you charged yourself with keeping us safe while that was in our possession until it got to its rightful place. Have always been our protector, and I think you are the protector of this bell."
He'll nod and say, "Okay, well, I'll hold it for now." And he'll just hold his hand out for it.
Yeah, Brandon will give it to him and say, "Also, I think there should be a limit to how many times people can use it. So Calden's used it once, so you can't use it ever again. That's off the table for sure."
That's a good rule. Yeah.
I kind of think no one should use it, but we didn't have any other options.
Yeah. I mean, I got that, but this thing is pretty lethal. I mean, I remember Dawnhurst.
Me too. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to have it. I don't think the races of Theria can wield it. And the Black Hand definitely can't have it.
No, definitely not. He's gonna as he's saying that, he's just gonna look down the ground and shake his head. He's gonna look back up, and then toward the entrance of the cave, and then back to the group, and say, "So, I mean, I got plenty of rest." And he was at Larg, and Big Guy did also. But I mean, how are you guys doing?
Braylon, Larg, are you hungry at all? Are you tired?
He's gonna touch his stomach. I don't think so.
Well, I guess I gotta ask out of character. Do I feel hungry? Do I feel tired? Like, how different do I feel?
I mean, you don't feel anything, I guess, in terms of biological needs. Like, you're not hungry, you're thirsty, you're sleepy, or anything.
Yeah, so he'll kind of just like put his hand on his belly and kind of just like think about it for a minute, probably for a minute too long for that simple of an answer, and be like, "No, I feel okay, I think."
Okay. Cullen will look over at Elena and see her sort of like collapse at this table. "How are you doing, Elena? Are you okay?"
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel anything?
Nah, you feel fine.
Aside from, like, the emotional trauma.
Well, yes, I think all of you are
Okay.
feeling some of that.
Then... I think Elena will look up at everybody, like not sit back up, just kind of like turn her head a little bit so she can see everyone. What do you think he meant when he said he can't help me? What's wrong with me?
Can I run some kind of check on her at all? Like some kind of magic check, or check out her aura or something like that at all?
Sure, you can give me an Arcana. So that's an 18. There's not going to be anything that leaps out to Calden that's out of the ordinary. I mean, it seems like the same old Elena to you.
Okay. So he'll like give her a look, and there's nothing wrong with you, Elena. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't know what happened with your interaction with that demon. I don't know how they affected you, but if anything manifests, we'll be here. Okay, we'll be here to help you. All of us. And now we have everyone back.
And at that, she'll look at Braylon and Larg. And she'll kind of half smile. And she'll say, I am glad you two are back. But there's a lot to be done before anybody can celebrate anything.
He'll kind of nod like he did before, and he'll crack the closest thing he's cracked to a smile so far, and he'll say, "Listen, if we do what Vecna wants us to do, we're probably going to see Sogoth again. So whatever she took, maybe just take it back."
She'll smile a little more and she'll say, I doubt it's that easy.
And shrug.
Well, then, where to?
Well, originally we were going to talk to the Paladins, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how much time we have. You know, we're headed south. Seems like a good plan.
Where's Blacktip Forest? Jamie asking.
I just pulled it up on the map. We're in
Oh
what?
my
I was
God.
just downloading the map too.
We're
Oh my
in
God.
The Black Rock Mountains, the Blistering
Yeah.
Peaks. Where are we?
Yep. No, you're right. You had it right.
Oh no. Oh
Far?
no. That's so far.
Oh no, really?
Good thing I don't have to eat. Right, Lark?
We'll just carry you guys. I'll pull the next
Fudge
card.
muffin.
Where did we come from? Where are the places we went? We were in Dawnhurst,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went
through
to
Dern Hollow.
through Dern Hollow to Esterholt.
I believe it's pronounced Burn Hollow.
Burn?
We went through Burn Hollow, and then we were crossing the mountains to get down to Esterholt. And that's where we're in
never
the
even
mountains. right
got to Esterholt.
now. Yeah, no.
No.
We're on the way.
So basically, we're gonna hit Esterholt, and then we're just gonna start our cycle all over again, and we'll go Farabee to Lockford to Dawnhurst. Jesus
No.
Christ.
As a player, I would suggest we look for a cart or some kind of trade wagon to go with. Because trade exists, right? They still get from place to place easy.
No, totally.
We could do that. We could see if there's like magical means available as well. I don't know if
Explain.
that's an option.
Explain.
Like portal circles or something.
I can't believe the Stargate SG-1 system has been activated yet.
Well, I don't know. Is that something? Would that be an option that's available? Like, what do you call them? Like scrolls of teleportation or something, or sending circles or whatever.
Yeah, not scrolls. Teleportation does exist. It's quite an expensive proposition, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But totally exists.
Well, we can always look for work in Esterholt and get money to buy a teleportation scroll.
What if anybody want to skin a dragon and sell some dragon scales?
Oh,
Did we like already do that or no?
No, we didn't
We
do it
have
yet.
time.
No.
We're preoccupied.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin will try and help out with that. I guess we could go. What do we know about the Black Tip Forest? Like, what general knowledge would we know about that bad boy?
Well, it's
Do
north
me a
of
favor.
Dawnhurst.
Yeah, no. Give me a wisdom check.
Yes, I will do that.
Can we all do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, baby!
Oh,
Braylon knows
fuck.
nothing.
I'm
Jesus.
so
Oh
fucking
no,
wrong.
Lark!
We lost
Okay.
brain
It's okay.
cells as we
They've
died.
been dead.
Yeah.
Bring the liquor.
They're still rebooting.
Forest got trees.
You can't brain black tips.
Hey, Tatiana, what is that? What you got there?
Huh?
So Tatiana, what you got there?
Oh, I got a natural 20.
You did get a natural 20. So Braylon and Calden know, or I'm sorry, Braylon and Lark know dick. Everybody else has varying degrees, and I would say Tatiana and Elena would come at it with a lot of knowledge. So the Black Tip Forest is very much out of the way. And it has the sad reputation of being the most haunted place on the planet.
Good.
What?
Like ghosties and spookums?
Like ghosties and spookums.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we know the reason why it's haunted, or is it just like,
No
don't
one knows
go
the
into that
reason
forest
why.
because it's ghosties?
Well, everyone's stories are a little bit different. Some people just swear to the gods that the forest changes while they're in it, making it impossible to navigate. They hear voices, they've seen things, they've flat out seen dead relatives, they've, all kinds of shit. Like, there are 1,000 stories, and none of them great.
Y'all, this
To go.
is a good place to fucking trip out.
Oh my god.
Go in there.
Okay, but if a tree talks to you in your brain, you should listen to it.
I don't.
100%. I can vouch for that. 1,000%.
I don't know what that means. Not in this universe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're closer to Esterholt than we've been this entire journey. We can make it the rest of the way there, try to make it the rest of the way there, and see if we can get some support. I mean, I don't know how long-term goal. I don't know how we're going to take down the Black Hand. Both Braylon and I have been within her organization once, and it's difficult. She has eyes all over the city and ears. She's in league with demons. If we're going to come in by force, it's going to have to be a pretty big force.
Braylon will chime in. Oh, but no, Vecna said something in Black Tip Forest will help us win, right?
Well, yeah, I guess if, depending on what favors we're able to call in Esterholt, we can make our way over to Black Tip Forest before heading anywhere else. I mean, there is Dawnhurst too. The Fang are still, or the Fang may be still there, and they're in league with the Black Hand.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But, I mean, do you really think a god would send us on a quest and not have something nice for us along the way? Come on.
Oh, I have no doubt that Vecna has given us as much insight and foresight as he is able to. But we're just mortals here. I don't know if we're chosen. I don't know. But I think, as we've seen recently, even if we have a part to play, we can all still die. So I don't know.
Vecna said we already know how to stop her. Does he want us to use the bell again?
Braylon will look at her. I mean, you can still use it once. You haven't used it ever, and your limit is 1, so...
Huh.
I don't think it's the bell. That's I like where you're thinking, Elena, but
I'm pretty sure he meant to kill her. And she's going to say that very coldly.
Calden's gonna like look around at everyone, and he's gonna look at Callie.
Oh, Callie is looking at you very pointedly.
Calden's gonna say, I've been working on something, and it isn't complete, but its only design is to be used to defeat the Black Hand. It's a spell. And how do I put this? There's been some sacrifice that has gone into trying to learn this magic and sculpt it. And there's likely going to be a little bit more.
Callie is going to speak up, and she's just going to say, you need more practice.
I do. I've learned a lot. And I've figured some things out, but I do need more practice. It's a spell to, well, you know how I can freeze things out here, water, air, that kind of stuff. This would be freezing essentially the water inside of a person. Total lethality.
Brennan will look at Colin. You said you've been practicing?
Yes.
On what?
On small things, mostly. Mice, frogs, cats.
What? Oh, when he says that, Braylon's gonna his pupilless eyes kind of open up wider. Cats?
A few. Just strays, though.
What? The cat is a cat, man.
Well, there is that deer, too.
And the deer. And that was really helpful. That kind of helped me learn it's not so much about the size of the thing. That's what I was worried about. I thought I had to work my way up to like a person-sized thing. But it's more about pinpointing that, if that makes sense. You know? If I can freeze a life within something in like their heart or their brain or a vital organ, like that'll do as intended. Doesn't matter how big it is.
Just Braylon looks at him like shaking his head with a little disgusted look on his face. Wow.
And Tatiana will sort of look at Callie and be like, you knew about this? Why didn't either of you say anything to anyone?
Well, Calden asked me not to, and I agreed as long as he agreed that we weren't going to do it haphazardly, that he was going to, do it on things that were going to be used. So the deer, we used that for food.
And the cats?
I didn't know about the cats.
Cullen will he'll kind of jump to Callie's defense a little bit and say, I asked her, she has no blame in this. She kept my secret because I was afraid of this. And he gestures to Braylon. He's like, Braylon, I was afraid you're gonna look at me the way you're looking at me right now. Because this is something that I felt I had to do. I had to make these sacrifices. My thinking at the time was so I could keep us all protected. If anything came at us, like the Black Hand or her goons came to assassinate us again, I could have this. And I don't want any of this loss to be for nothing, and it won't be. But this is all I know. This kind of magic. I don't know any way else. There's no handbook for this. I'm just coming up with it as I go.
Braylon's gonna sigh a little bit. There's always a different way, buddy. I mean, come on. You know plenty of different ways to breeze everything. You can fly now, apparently. This kind of brutality isn't something that I expect from you. This is the kind of thing I expect from them. I mean, you were on that boat. You saw what those guys in armor did. You know, you saw the place where she lives, where the Black Hand calls home. The streets around that area, that part of Brightport, it breeds people like that. People who do what you can do sometimes. I don't know, I always just expected you to be more kind. I mean, sure, we have foes coming after us, but I never expected you just to do things where it almost feels like pain is the only point, the only reason. I don't know. Maybe being dead for a few days gave me a weaker stomach, I guess. And he kind of sits down and in like crisscross legs, just looking at the opening of the cave, scratches his head a little, like he's confused. I'm not gonna argue with you on these details. If you feel that this kind of brutality is needed, then I mean, I don't think I can stop you. Honestly, I don't think any of us really can. He kind of says it hesitantly.
Oh, Calden just looks as if he's been shot. Just like, oh, shots fired in here. And I think he looks to Callie like, I don't know. He doesn't know what to say. He's looking for a lifeline.
I think we should explore all options. I originally didn't like it, and I asked Calden to pull back a little bit. I thought that it was unnecessary. But from what we've seen and what we know, the Black Hand's not going to play fair. And I don't know, maybe this is what we're going to need. Or maybe we won't need it. But shouldn't we have something?
Braylon will look at Callie. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, they did do some damage the last time we met them, and who knows what else they'll throw at us if they ever figure out that we're on this. And he looks up at the ceiling of the cave. God quest.
Okay. I don't know if this is a balm, but my intention is to never use this spell. And if I have to only use it the once. It's only ever been meant for one person.
Braylon will look at Colin. Yeah, it's just... I get the feeling first people to discover magic kind of said the same thing. But hey, look how that turned out. Good comes with the bad, right?
Do you think I'm bad?
No. Come on, Calvin. Not you. It's just, you figure this out, you learn how to do it. You know, God's willing, one day you have little Collins of your own, you pass it on to them, they pass it on, and somebody down the line uses it the wrong way. It doesn't have to be you. You know, it's the future.
And I think that realization just like hits Cullen like a ton of bricks, just like doo. And he's just standing there with his like hand out.
Braylon will stand up. I guess I'm okay with it as long as you promise never to teach it to anybody else. This isn't something that anyone else, I think, will use in the proper way.
I promise.
He'll have a little smile on his revenant face.
Can Tatiana sort of like add in, and maybe just no more cute furry little creatures? And she means this like we're cool, dude, but like maybe no more cats.
Yeah. Cullen will look at her and say, "No more cats."
Gotta level up to dog. I hear you.
Another Cyclops, perhaps.
Braylon will nod emphatically. Yeah, that would be best. Or a dragon. You know. Something that has way more potential to kill us than a cat or a mouse. That's fine.
I think the other thing about this magic is I may only be able to do it once.
What do you mean?
I mean, life, energy, it's difficult. I don't know much about it. I don't know much how to control it. It's not where I draw power from. If something is going to be this powerful, it may be something that can only be done the one time.
All right. Well, then we make sure it's on the one who counts.
Yeah, Cullen, he looks Braylon in his pale eyes now, nods his head, and there's a different kind of respect. I mean, Cullen has always respected Braylon, but this is a solemn kind that only happens in circumstances like this.
Braylon will clap his hands. All right. Good first conversation from coming back from the dead. I love it.
So what would you guys like to do?
We going to Esterholt?
We should probably... I mean, you guys got your asses kicked, so probably rest.
Yeah, we're resting.
Yeah.
We have the time.
we got the infinite... We got the Super Mario or...
Oh, right. Yeah. Want to go cut up a dragon? A beautiful, majestic creature?
You guys want some, dragon steaks for dinner?
Hell yeah! Oh, yeah, actually, I don't eat anymore, so never mind.
Oh.
But I'll sniff it. I just like to smell it.
I was gonna say this beautiful scene, and Larg is in the background just kicking the dragon corpse the whole time.
You know what I envision it like, Jameson? I feel like Larg and Braylon are like the pirates from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where they eat and drink, but nothing happens. So just what the hell? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you guys can eat and drink. It just doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah.
It's just substance.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's like when you have a cold and you drink coffee and it's just hot and you're just well, this is just hot, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a sensation. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't. It's just styrofoamy.
And even that's probably dulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say that you're laying down for the evening and you're going to get some rest. So let's pick things up that night. And let's say that you have harvested this dragon as best you can. Can I get a survival check?
Sure.
Everybody's doing it, right?
I'm
I feel like we're
assisting
all
you,
trying.
Callie.
I'm gonna say Callie with advantage.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Great.
Ooh. Okay, look. You rolled a 5. We dumped that to take a 6, so that's a
Yeah.
13 total.
But I have a +7. So.
You do. So there you go, 13 total. So you did an okay job. It's not bad.
I was still a little freaked out, Talk to
Yeah.
God.
Are you guys picking up your stuff from this cave? Is there anything you're leaving behind?
The bell. And just kick it.
I don't know
Okay.
if we'll be able to carry the dragon scales and the table and chairs.
Oh,
We
good
destroyed
point. And we
table
have to
chairs.
we gotta take those chairs and table. They're
Yeah.
Do they fold up? Do they stack on top of one another?
They haven't invented that yet, I don't think.
Oh, it's just, these are classy. This is like hardwood. Like it's
of course they are.
This is a holy table.
Can you
Even
imagine
like
another party
Vecna's-
coming to find this?
Yeah, like even Vecna's like disposable chairs and table are like amazing.
Real question: can I roll religion on the table and chairs? Because
sure.
I hang on. I'll explain my thought process if this
Okay,
is good.
sure.
18.
Okay, give me your thought process.
Okay, so I'm thinking that we need to go to Esterholt, and we know that there's a secret club of Vecna somewhere there. And we don't have any proof that we just talked to Vecna. So maybe if there's something about this furniture that can be like, Vecna made this.
Yeah,
And also, your skin is gray and you don't have any pupils.
And we
I'd
have
say
a bell,
that's the
too.
better.
And I was gonna
Yeah, I
say,
don't want to
Todd-
really show them the bell unless we have to, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Karen makes a good point though.
Yeah.
We've got 2 living, walking proofs.
I was about to say, yeah, you are both proof.
Oh, wait, time out. These are Paladin's Court. Oh, no, you're talking about the Vecna cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I was
underground
saying, we
guys.
show up Paladin's Court and they
See,
see us. We're about to get
that's-
smoked so hard.
Wait, where's the
That's,
Vecna cult?
In Brightport.
Well, I thought
Here's-
there was.
here's
I thought it was an
This
Esther.
is a Mesterful. There's
Oh, there's a cult, quote unquote, in Esterholt, and there's a church. It's a branding issue.
Oh, gotcha. I get it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a church. Both are hidden because Vecna doesn't have the best rep in the world.
He about to. I'm gonna spread the good word.
I'm just saying, Arc 1 was all about Cord. Arc 3 is Vecna.
Vecna Daddy.
Here's my thing though. Here's my thing. I don't think we should tell the Vecna people that we know about Vecna. Because we've met the guy. We know he's chill. They might have a really, really twisted view of him. And we may not want them to know about what we know. I think we have to infiltrate, see what they know, and then just because like you got to think about like all the different how to get into religion. You got to think about like all the different sects of Christianity, right? They all think the same thing, but they all have very different views on things. If we are the chosen ones, and we know, I don't know if we want to reveal that to people.
a good point. Very good point.
What information do we want to get out of the Vecna people? Because initially it was like we were going to try and figure out, I think, about the bell and like what we could do, but we may not need to check in with that anymore.
I would guess not. I would think the Paladins are the best bet because we need them to clear out Dawnhurst because the Fang is still there, we think.
Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I feel like if you're on a holy quest from Vecna, you get his cultists involved in one way or another. If they're cool, like if they're psychos, then we can.
Yeah, we have to figure
True,
out if
true.
they're just crazy people or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Val.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That all makes sense.
So anyway, so there's nothing special about the chair, right?
Not really, no. It's just a really nice chair.
Okay. We'll leave it here for the next people, I guess.
Braylon looks at the chair and then has a flashback of trying to hit the clicker with the chair,
Yes.
and he like rubs the edge of the chair like this would have done some damage. Just like
I got to get more proficient with this.
Well balanced chair.
Mhm.
So what did we take from the dragon? What did we actually take off of it?
You have a nice stack of scales. A pretty good stack. And again, this wasn't an ancient dragon or anything like that, but it's definitely, you could probably fetch a pretty penny.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get a couple teeth.
I'm gonna say I'd probably harvest like claws, teeth, whatever.
Anything sharp.
Yeah, anything that
could
we
be
would want to make
regent.
a trinket out of.
Totally. I kind of assume that, like, yeah.
We did get some
Yeah.
blood earlier, too.
Yep.
If no one else gravitates to take it, I think Tatiana would take the little note from Mr. Vecna.
Oh, that'd be a good piece of evidence, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Did
no one
he
can write a
sign
note,
it? Your God Vecna?
There's a flowery V.
Oh my
Oh,
god. That's
I
perfect.
love him.
He's so classy.
And
Hugs
he's
and
just so
kisses.
nice. I can't wait to like spread the good word about him and be like, no, guys, like he's a really great person.
He knows everything about you, but he would never tell anyone. Trust me.
We only take one cleric level, I think.
That means we could all heal.
We ready to take off?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Smash that orb.
Wait, do we want to, like, not that we think he's lying, but do we want to make sure that that's what the orb is before we go smashing something and progress time 17 years?
Nah, we good.
I trust my Lord and Savior.
I feel like it's a trust thing, right? With him
Put my trust
especially.
in Vecna.
Yeah, there's no reason to not trust him. Okay, let's smash it.
You're the one throwing it.
Do the honors.
I'll do it. Like, I'll fucking do it, my guy.
That was like a threat. It's like, I'll do it.
Should I roll something to see, like, how good I throw it?
No, you just throw it however you like to throw it. You
Well-
tell me how you throw it.
Spike it.
Oh. Okay. So, I feel like we gather up all of our stuff, we put like our packs back on, and we're all, and you know, you said the cave is still dark and even though outside it's bright.
Well, now it's nighttime,
Oh,
but
that's
yes.
true.
Same,
Wait, it's
same thing.
nighttime? Is it at morning time? Didn't we rest?
No, I mean, how long did you sleep? I assume you were sleeping like 8 or 9 hours.
Well, time stood still, so we could kind of sleep however long we wanted, right?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
No,
other
he
people
just said we were
assume.
protected.
Oh, okay. I'm confused.
Wait, because we did the spell in the morning,
Yep.
True.
and then Vecna, and then we
Unless you're going to
rested.
sleep like 20 hours, like, it's up to you.
So we sleep for a required amount of long rest time, and we can head
I think
out.
it's just got like what could happen at night.
We could die again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I feel like we should wait till the morning.
Jason, no. Smash it,
All right.
Big Mama.
Okay, I guess we're leaving at night. Elena isn't happy about it. Just want to let you know. Okay, so I'm imagining, like, we all are lining up side by side at the mouth of the cave. And, I was about to say Sora. Elena holds the orb in her left hand because she is left-handed. And she will take a deep breath. And, you know, they're all looking out the cave. And she's going to chuck it over her shoulder and hear it break.
It's badass.
This orb is going to smash on the floor of this cavern. And from the impact area, this fog is going to rush out and climb up the cavern walls. And it's going to collapse back in. almost like a wave. And Calden is going to feel something.
Oh no.
On his left side, that stumpy area. Bones are going to start to form
No.
and creep up the area where the stump was. And this skeletal hand, not quite like the one that he had during the bell, but a fully functional skeleton grip, is going to climb its way out of that stump. The stack of dragon scales is going to start to levitate and encircle the party. And they're going to begin to multiply and change color. These shiny red dragon scales are going to have a gradient, like a hint of purple dashed to them, and this outline of black. And they are going to coat the party's armor. So you're all wearing the same armor, but now coated in these red and violet dragon scales.
That is the coolest fucking thing ever!
Wow.
Oh my god.
Hey, Jamie,
Yes.
could you please do me a favor? Roll a d4.
Oh, okay.
All of you are going to get inspiration.
What?
Yeah.
And as this fog blasts away in a gust of wind, just completely dissipates, the night sky is going to be revealed to you outside. And all of your hearts are going to race, just for a moment. As this influx of energy just takes over your bodies, you're going to feel completely energized, like you could do anything. And you're all going to gain 3 levels.
What the fuck?
What? Are you
Holy
kidding
shit!
me? Holy.
Oh my god.
Level 9, huh? Okay.
Gotta buff up for that big hero quest.
Vecna Daddy!
Oh,
Vecna
man.
Daddy.
Pledge myself to Vecna, I guess. Oh, shit.
And as you take one last look around this cavern, which, for better or worse, has been your home for the better part of 2 days, you're going to think about how much has been packed into such a small amount of time. And as Elena pores over this, just thinks about everything and how different things could have went, she's going to think back to that letter that she wrote to her parents and how they don't need to see that now, which is simply amazing. But there's going to be this nagging feeling that even though they never have to see it, she's glad she wrote it, just in case. But she's having the hardest time remembering her parents' first names. And I think that's a good time for us to stop for the evening.
Oh, she took your fucking memories?
Oh no!
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh.
There's a club. There's a club, Elena. You can be part of the club. Amnesia Club, we got openings all the time. So
No. There's a misunderstanding.
She took her parents.
No.
No.
She's going to slowly
Oh no.
take your parents away. Your parents will still exist, but Elena eventually will have no memory of them.
that's even worse.
But she'll know that there's an absence, because there's 1,000 ways to cause pain to somebody, and it's not all physical.
She'll feel a loss and she won't know why.
Oh my god.
That super fucking cool. I'm so stoked about all of this.
We just started.
A skeleton hand from Vecna Daddy?
Wait, is it a skeleton or did skin come across?
I don't know.
Skeleton.
Sounded like a bone hand, a creepy ass, cool
okay.
bone hand, and that is awesome.
We're never getting into a city anymore. Are you kidding me?
We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. That was Group B. Next week, we have Group C up. And, of course, we'll be doing our patented extended rest at the end of the month, trying to get on a bunch of cast members and take your questions and just basically take the temperature, see how you guys are enjoying stuff. Don't forget to send us an email, swing by our Reddit, go to our Discord, through our Patreon, however you want to get a hold of us. Share your thoughts with listeners. I love to see that kind of stuff. Me and Bree are always watching, and I'm sure the groups really appreciate it too. Just kind of getting a peek inside your mind, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. We'll see you guys next week with a brand new Group C, and until then, you guys have a good week.